We will discuss briefly about febrile seizures. First, coming to the definition of the febrile seizures. Febrile seizures are the seizures occurring in a neurologically normal child with age between 6 months to 60 months, associated with fever and without any evidence of CNS infection or metabolic disturbance and without any previous history of febrile seizures. Next, coming to the etiology of these febrile seizures. It is not clearly understood. Some sources say it is genetically predisposed condition. That means autosomal dominant condition. Coming to the pathogenesis of these febrile seizures. Many believe that high temperature fever causes a seizure activity. But fact is, high temperature fever itself doesn't cause a seizure activity. It's the sudden spike of the temperature that triggers the CNS hyperactivity. That means a fever started at 100 degree Fahrenheit and gradually rise to 104 degree Fahrenheit, less likely it triggers the seizure activity. Whereas if the temperature started from 100 degree Fahrenheit and suddenly rise to 104 degree Fahrenheit, that type of fever triggers CNS hyperactivity and can lead to a seizure activity. But in which children that sudden spike occurs is still a debate. Many say it is due to genetic predisposition. Types of febrile seizures. Number one is simple febrile seizures. Simple febrile seizures are most commonly generalized tonic-clonic seizures with a maximum duration of 15 minutes, and there are no focal signs in the post-ictal period, and only one episode occurs in a 24 hours period. Whereas in the second type of febrile seizures, that is complex or atypical febrile seizures, most commonly the seizures are focal seizures and the duration of the episode is more than 15 minutes, and more commonly the focal signs are present in the post-ictal period, and recurrent episodes occur in a 24 hours period. And coming to the type of the seizure, many parents describe it as the child is unconscious with uprolling of eyeballs and stiffening of the limbs with frothy discharge from the mouth and mouth deviation and bladder or bowel incontinence, tongue bite, etc. This seizure activity most commonly lasts up to 1 to 2 minutes only. In many cases less than 5 minutes, which is followed by post-ictal drowsiness and spontaneous recovery of consciousness. Next, coming to the recurrence. Is recurrence common in febrile seizures? Yes, after the first episode of the febrile seizures, recurrence can occur up to 30% of children. After the 2 episodes of febrile seizures, recurrence risk rises to 50%. If the first episode of febrile seizures occurred in the first year of life, then recurrence is 50%. Risk factors for the recurrence. What are the major factors that affecting the recurrent febrile seizures? Number one is age. Age between the 6 months to 1 year. If the first episode of febrile seizure occurred between the age of 6 months to 1 year, there will be more chances of recurrent febrile seizures. And duration of fever less than 24 hours. And the fever which started at a low grade, that means 38 to 39 degrees centigrade, started fever at a low grade, it is a risk factor for recurrent febrile seizures. Next, coming to the minor factors. A family history of febrile seizures or epilepsy in the first degree relatives, or complex febrile seizure, or if the child is a male child, or if the child serum sodium levels are low, these will be considered as a minor factors for the recurrent febrile seizures. Next, coming to the risk of febrile seizures developing into epilepsy. What are the risk factors that will promote the febrile seizures into epilepsy? Number one is recurrent febrile seizures. Number two is complex or atypical febrile seizures and fever of less than 1 hour duration, and family history of epilepsy or febrile seizures, and persistently abnormal EEG, and child with developmental delay, and sometimes a simple febrile seizures can develop into epilepsy. It is very rare. That means there is only 1 to 2% risk. Next, coming to the diagnosis. Diagnosis of febrile seizures is mainly by history and physical examination. First, rule out the metabolic causes by doing blood sugar levels and serum electrolytes and serum calcium, because hypoglycemia, hyponatremia, hypocalcemia, hypokalemia, these can trigger the seizure activity. And appropriate investigations to be done based on the history to know the cause of the fever. EEG is not necessary in simple febrile seizures. It should be done after the 2 weeks of the episode. And lumbar puncture is usually not required in simple febrile seizures if there are no signs of meningeal irritation are seen. And CT, MRI are also rarely needed. And extensive investigations like EEG, CT, MRI, LP may be needed in complex or atypical febrile seizures and in those with risk factors for recurrent febrile seizures and development of febrile seizures into epilepsy, which we have discussed earlier. Next, coming to the treatment part of the febrile seizure, means assess whether chest compressions are needed or not, and whether airway is patent or not, and whether breathing is appropriate or not. If the child is stable, that means the child airway is better and breathing pattern is normal and there is no need for chest compressions, put the child in lateral decubitus position to prevent the aspiration, that means right lateral or left lateral. Next, coming to the anti-seizure medication. Lorazepam. Injection lorazepam is available as ampules. 1 ml contains 2 mg. It can be given slow IV and the dosage is 0.05 to 0.1 mg per kg per dose. Injection midazolam. Brand names comes as Midas or Mezolam. You can give slow IV or IM 0.1 mg per kg per dose. Maximum 0.2 mg per kg per dose. Ampules, which contains 1 ml 5 mg, and vials contains 1 ml 1 mg. Or midazolam nasal spray. It comes as Midasip nasal spray, which you can give at 0.2 to 0.3 mg per kg per dose, and available as 0.5 mg and 1.25 mg spray bottles. You can try any of these medication if the child is presented with a febrile seizure activity. Any of the above drugs, that means Loraz or Midas, can be repeated after 5 minutes. If the seizures are still not controlled, go as per the protocol of status epilepticus. As you know, any seizure prolonging more than 5 minutes is taken as status epilepticus. Next, in resource limited settings, that means a child developing seizure activity at home or at a hospital where there are IV drugs like Loraz, Midas are not available, you can use rectal diazepam during the seizure activity, and it can be given at the rate of 0.5 mg per kg per dose. Next, coming to the antipyretic therapy, because the triggering factor in the febrile seizures is fever, so we have to control the temperature appropriately. For this, you can use injection PCT or rectal paracetamol suppositories can be used in children. Brand names I have mentioned as Anamol suppository. You can get 80 mg, 175 mg and 250 mg rectal suppositories. You can use the rectal suppositories at the dose of 10 to 15 mg per kg per dose, and tepid sponging should be done. Reducing the body temperature is an important thing in febrile seizures. Don't give any oral medication till the baby become fully conscious. So we have mentioned only injection and rectal suppositories to reduce the fever and not oral paracetamol preparations. And then start the antibiotics according to fever history, and also start the supportive treatment like IV fluids and any symptomatic treatment. If you feel the child requires, means you have to give that symptomatic treatment. Next, coming to the prophylaxis. After the child is stabilized, start the child on intermittent prophylaxis with tablet clobazam. Brand name is Frisium. It comes in 5 mg and 10 mg preparations, and the dose is 0.5 to 1 mg per kg per day, oral BD. It is given till the child is free from the fever. Usually it takes 3 to 4 days for the child to recover from the fever. It is called intermittent prophylaxis because it is given only during the fever days. It should be continued till completion of the 5 years of age. Whenever the child gets fever, frisium should be given for 2 to 3 or 3 to 4 days. Then coming to the continuous prophylaxis. Continuous prophylaxis may be needed in those with family history and risk factors and recurrent seizures, even if the child is on intermittent frisium, and also in the child with recurrent atypical febrile seizures. Continuous prophylaxis is with phenobarbital and valproate. Carbamazepine and phenytoin don't work in the continuous prophylaxis of febrile seizures.